We are back in the year 1987, continuing our look at the Visionaries toy line by Hasbro. In our previous Visionaries episodes, we met KREED'S, one of the evil Darkling Lords trying to gain control of the planet Prismos. We also took a look at the heroic Spectral Knight Ektar and his magical vehicle, the Lancer Cycle. And today, we'll be taking a look at one of Ektar's fellow Spectral Knights, Arzon, here on Creed's Collection. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at Arzon, one of the heroic Spectral Knights. Arzon isn't much for fighting, as a matter of fact, he'd rather not, but he will if he has to. But what he really wants to do is help to rebuild society on the planet Prismos. Arzon is one of the youngest of the Spectral Knights, but along with Ektar, he is one of the most trusted by their leader, Leoric. His magical personality is the Eagle, which gives him the power of flight and also the ability to spy on the Darkling Lords. Although honestly, I don't remember if he ever used it in that way. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a closer look at Arzon. I always felt like his helmet was a little ill-fitting, but it still looks pretty good. And here's a look at him without the helmet. I think he has a really great face and head sculpt. Hasbro always did a good job with that. As we continue down the figure, you can see that Arzon has the same level of detail that the other Visionaries figures have, which is quite a bit. Hasbro really went all out on these figures. I know I've bragged on them in the past, but I just can't really say enough about them. They're nice, big, heavy figures with excellent articulation and sick detail. I really wish this toy line would have been more popular. They had other toys planned. As a matter of fact, in the opening credits, I put a picture of the unproduced playset that they were going to make called the Holodrome Iron Mountain. Even the back of these figures have a high level of detail, and I never noticed before till this review, but Arzon's shoulder pads are actually asymmetrical. Down on the bottom there, you can see the copyright date. We'll take a closer look at that. 1987 Hasbro, made in China. Now I'll take a closer look at the hologram. Unfortunately, it has sustained some damage being packed away all these years. I'm not really sure what happened, but there's these little black lines on it now, and you can't really see the hologram straight on anymore. It blacks out if you look at it like that, so you kind of have to view it at an angle now. I'm not really sure why this happened to just him, because all my other Visionaries figures are fine, and they were all packed up the same way. But that's okay, because this is a very minor amount of damage for a figure that is 32 years old. And now a really quick look at the articulation. Arzon's got bendable knees and hips. He also has a segmented body with a rubber band so you can move him around. He has movable shoulders and elbows, as well as a swivel in the center of his arm. And he also can look up and down and left and right. Now we're going to take a look at Arzon's gear. Here is his ill-fitting helmet, which is actually pretty cool looking when it's off of him. And I don't mind it on him either, it's just, it always looks like it's kind of flexed out. I do prefer Arzon with his helmet on though. His weapon is a flanged mace, which I actually like this quite a bit. It's a pretty stark contrast to our last Visionaries figure's weapon, KREED'S. He had an axe, all these crazy wires and technical gadgets on it, and Arzon just has a blunt object. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at his staff, which has some pretty excellent detail on it. As you can see on the front here, it's got two holograms, which we'll take a closer look at in a second. First, we're going to take a look at the back, where they didn't have to do anything, but as we've learned, the designers of this series just packed in details wherever they could. And getting back to the front, you can see that this hologram represents the Spectral Knights, and the other hologram is Knowledge, which is his magical totem. Can you imagine if someone had the magical totem of knowledge in this day and age? We'd probably end up treating it a lot like this. Hey Knowledge, I got a question for you.
Yes, I, Knowledge, can answer any question. I have all the answers of the universe at my fingertips.
Yeah, I just need to know if it's gonna rain today.
You just need to know if it's going to rain today? Well, you have a 35% chance of rain.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks, Knowledge. Oh, hey, Knowledge, I almost forgot. I got one more question.
Oh, yes. I can answer anything at all.
How cold is it going to get today?
It's a low of 54 degrees.
Here's a quick look at Arzon's file card. If you guys want to read it, go ahead and pause now. And now for our He-Man size comparison. As we've already established, Visionary's figures are slightly smaller than He-Man, but I'm always going to do the He-Man size comparison because you never know when it's somebody's first video. Everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my toy review for Arzon from the 1987 toy line Visionaries by Hasbro. Arzon was the first Visionaries figure that I got, and he had me hooked. From then on, I wanted to get all of them, but sadly the toy line was short-lived and I was limited to what I could get at my local stores. While most people don't remember this toy line at all, in my opinion, it's one of the best of the 1980s, and I'm really glad I was able to get a few of the toys into my collection. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up, and if you have any thoughts, please leave a comment. I love reading and responding to them. And while you're at it, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it, and it would help my channel grow. I review a toy from my vintage collection every Wednesday, so I hope to see you next week and every week after, here on KREED'S Collection.